Warning, this is a hunting video where deer are being shot for the purposes of deer management and putting delicious free-range meat on the table. If that's not your cup of tea, that's fine, but please move on. Cheers.
She's looking like an absolute cracker of a day. It's an absolute cracker of a day. Absolute cracker of a day here. About 300 metres away now.
On this trip, we've climbed out of the ocean and we're back on the terra firma on dry land, and we've traded out the spear gun for the rifle, and I hope you guys enjoy.
2 shots, 2 deer.
Stick around to the end for a full cook-up of a deer heart. Delicious, 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 delicious. Hey guys, welcome to the Mackay Outdoors YouTube channel. I'm hugely passionate about all things outdoors, and I love putting free-range fish and meat on the table. For those who don't know, kai is the Māori word for food, and that's the name I'm going to run with for now.
Morning team. Just heading up north now. It's still pretty much the middle of winter, so it's super dark here at the moment. It's only 6:30 and yeah, it's still pitch black, so got about 4.5 hour drive north, so we'll see you up there.
Before we get too far into this video, I'd be hugely grateful if you could please like and subscribe and hit the bell so that you don't miss any future videos. It just takes a couple of seconds and really makes a difference.
Couple of hours in now and it's pretty snowy out there, and I actually just saw a mob of deer up to the right. There must have been about 15 up there and a couple of stags as well, so yeah, that was pretty exciting. We'll check in a bit. Couple hours up the road now, got about an hour and a half left, but she's looking like an absolute cracker of a day. She's a bit cold, but no wind or rain, so can't complain there. So bright I've had to bust the sunnies out. It's hard to believe that it's 1 degree because it is an absolute cracker of a day. You beauty. Right, I've met up with my mate Roddy, just in the truck, heading a little bit closer to where we're going to be hunting from. So we're going to be chasing hinds today, so yeah, hopefully we can get something on the deck. Got anything to say, Roddy?
No, it's a nice day for it, and hopefully we'll get something.
Yeah, bloody oath, it's a bloody nice day up here. It's only about 1 degree, but there's no wind, no rain, so it feels a lot warmer. And funny story about Roddy, he's actually been to Kaipoi, so some of you will know where Kaipoi is, some of you won't. Kaipoi is where I'm from, so he's been back home and stayed with mum and dad for, how long were you with him for?
It was 6 months. 6
months. And he ran out a few times for the Kaipoi Div 1 team as well, so yeah, bloody oath. Right, we'll get stuck into it. Right, we're off and walking. Just spotted a wee mob about 500 metres up the creek or up the burn, so we're going to go and sneak in on them now and see if we can get a little bit closer. Graceful. Just sneaking in on something there. I'm still about 800 away, but just sneaking up this creek. Just getting set up before we sneak in on the final bit of the stalk. We're sort of about 300 metres away now, so just going to try and get a little bit closer.
I said to Roddy that if it was looking touch and go to get them on camera, not to worry about it and just watch through his binoculars. As the camera wasn't focusing on the deer, it was focusing on the grass in the foreground, and those deer that you can see in the background now aren't the deer that I was lined up on.
Yeah, just watch it. Yeah, it's down. It's down. Yeah.
Let's go Farley.
Yeah, far left.
You ready?
Yeah. That was a hit on the back one. Pretty sure. Yeah, it's going down. Right. Good shooting.
Right, we got a couple down. It was pretty fast in the end, so not too sure what sort of footage we've got, but we tried, Roddy. How did we go on the camera?
I don't think.
That's all good. It was a we were all right for a bit, and we were all sneaking in, and then sure enough, just as we're getting set up, they all stood up. But I think it was 2 shots, 2 deer, so we'll wander up and have a wee look. Right, there's one down there, then another one down just there, so we'll drag the other one to this one. Beauty. Oh well, good to get a couple down anyways, and yeah, sorry we didn't get them on camera for you, but it's a work in progress. Obviously it's actually pretty bloody difficult trying to line up the camera and the rifle, so a lot of respect out there to you guys who managed to get it done, but got to start somewhere, eh? So yeah, I'm sure we'll figure it out, but if not, no stress. It's bloody good to just be out in the hills and get a couple on the deck. Obviously it's pretty important to manage the numbers so that the population doesn't boom. So yeah, be some bloody good eating meat as well. What do you reckon, Roddy?
Yeah, these will be good for dinner. No, it's good to get them, to shoot them this time of the year, because they've really got not much feed out here, and if we don't control the numbers, they'll eventually just starve. So it's good to take out the skinnier looking ones and the ones that maybe wouldn't survive throughout the whole winter. Yeah.
Perfect. Bloody good.
Well
Cheers,
done,
mate. Hey! Right, we've dealt to those hinds before, and now we've just spotted a seeker stag about 650 metres away, so there's a big row of trees between us and that, so I'm going to try and close the gap a little bit.
Seeker are a very cunning and elusive deer, which makes them very hard to hunt, and as we were trying to close the gap, they must have spotted us and they weren't hanging around for long at all.
Right, we're heading in for some food now and watch the footy later on, so we'll catch us in the morning. Morning team, woken up to an absolute cracker of a day here, so hopefully be another day of some good hunting and we'll get some footage for you guys. But yeah, speaks for itself really. Sun's out in the bloody Scottish Highlands.
We'll see if we'll get back to you. What we need to do.
They must have been lying in there.
And they've winded us.
Unfortunately, on day 2, we had to contend with swirling winds, rainfall, and just a lot of spikers. And obviously the spikers are male deer, and we were only after the females as it was hind season. But you can't be too bothered when the scenery is as beautiful as this. You just can't beat being out on the hills or out on the sea for your mental well-being. It's just so good for you being out in the elements and getting stuck in. I go mad if I'm cooped up in town for too long. Just ask my fiancée Lil.
All spikers.
Even though we didn't get anything on day 2, it was still an awesome day and an awesome hunt. Up high, walking around a bit of snow, and she was pretty crunchy underfoot.
Right, heading out for a quick morning hunt before I head back to Glasgow, so looking for seeker stag, so we'll see how we get on.
We've just spotted 5 deer. They're currently about 400 metres away, so we're just trying to close the gap down to about 200 at the moment.
Yeah. I'll just aim pretty much dead on with the whisker line. Right, are you ready? Yeah, smack that. That's good. She ends up. Yeah, she stopped. Delicious wee seeker hind down, so happy days.
Yeah. First one, is it?
First one, yeah, first seeker. So we don't have them in the South Island, we've only got them in the North Island. Yeah, there's quite a population over here in Scotland, so no, bloody good. Cheers, Roddy. Thanks, mate. 5 up there, and we thought we were buggered when 2 sort of snuck round to the left, but then the other 3 stayed, and we were able to use that sort of rise there to sneak into, what were we, about 200?
Yeah, about 200 metres.
About 200, and then he was just sitting there between those 2 trees and managed to...
The noise of the burn kind of masked us creeping up that hill there.
Yeah, masked us army crawling and squidging our way up the muddy hill. But no, it worked out well. Another one down for the deer management. Oh, what a gorgeous animal. And these things are meant to be pretty good eating apparently, so looking forward to giving it a wee try out.
This was a good one to take out of the gene pool, as it had what's called an Aladdin's slipper, which is basically an upturned hoof, and this can be extremely problematic and hugely painful, and in some cases even lead to them non-weight bearing on that leg.
That's us on our way back to the trucks now. Successful morning mission. Yeah, managed to get a seeker hind on the deck, so happy days. First seeker I've ever shot, so successful morning, and back to the house for a shower, and then I'm gonna hit the road back to Glasgow. Just heading back to Glasgow now, about an hour and a half away, but no, it was a good trip. I don't know how the footage is going to turn out. We actually didn't get a whole lot of deer on filming the end, which is all good. Wasn't about that. That was only part of the trip. Obviously the other part was getting up there and culling a few hinds, which we successfully managed to do. Obviously, you know, all these hills and all these blocks have a certain sort of carrying capacity for a sustainable herd, and if that number, if you've got too many deer in there, they're all going to be in poor condition, and they'll be skinny. You know, they might die. So you've got to keep on top of them. You can't just let them sort of breed up, because there's no real natural predators in there other than the hunters sort of keeping the numbers down. So no, it was a bloody good trip, and good to get away and shoot a few deer and get a bit of meat for the freezer. And yeah, hopefully there's some decent footage in there, enough to make the cut for YouTube. But nah, I'm sure it'll be all good. So yep, hope you guys enjoyed. Put that up later. Right, doing a bit of a cooking video today, so I thought I'd better put some nice clothes on. So out comes the old school Kaiapoi rugby jersey. So first of all, you want to take your heart. This is a delicious Sika hind heart, and probably want to give it a wash first off. Get as much water off it as you can, and then give it a good dry. Don't want any moisture in it. I wouldn't usually wash if it was like a back steak or something, I wouldn't wash it, but just because it's the heart, give it a quick wash. Can't hurt. I'm going to go about a centimetre thick. Bit of fat on this heart. It's been on some good tucker. Leave it on. It smells pretty good. Once it's open like that, it's a little bit easier. You can give it another little pat down. And then this is where you can get fancy, but I keep it pretty simple. I'm just gonna cook it like a steak. So sometimes I wouldn't even bother with the olive oil, but because I'm at home and you know I'm running the video, I'll put a bit of effort in. So I'm just gonna go olive oil, salt and pepper. Keen to see what this fatty bit tastes like. Now a lot of you are probably thinking, oh, he doesn't actually like heart, he's just eating it for the video. Genuinely, I think heart is delicious. It's pretty mild. It's honestly pretty similar to steak. Right. Probably going to get crucified by the at-home cooking police, but good amount of butter. And then I'm going to have to whack this on, so you might not be able to hear me too well. So if you can't, then I'll put the voice over top. It was at this moment I realised, holy heck, that pan is hot. Too much yapping while it was preheating. And I started my timer after they'd been in for about 30 seconds, so that's helpful. I don't usually time it, so maybe like a minute or 90 seconds each side. Sizzling away nicely. Smells bloody good too. That's 3 minutes there, so we'll whip them off the heat now and we'll get into them. I've honestly not eaten a bad venison heart yet, so I've got pretty high expectations for this.
Let's try this wee bit first. Try this little bit here. It's bloody good. Right. See how tender it is. Yeah, very tender. Just a little bit pink in there. Not too shabby. That's really good. This is a steak knife, but I'll just give you the... Yeah, it's really tender. Honestly, that is so nice. It's hard to explain to you at home just how nice it is, other than it's like eating a steak, really. Just like a hunk of beef. Try this fatty a bit. There's a little bit of fat there. No, delicious. The next deer you shoot, just take the heart. Unless you smack it in the heart, then you won't be taking it. But I don't know, if you hit it somewhere else and you don't hit the heart, you should definitely take it home and give it a try. You know, it might not be your cup of tea, but at least you can say you've tried it. Cook it up like this, cook it up how you want it, really. It'd probably be quite nice. Cut up with some mushrooms or on toast or something. Yeah, it's not often you see a kitchen cook with some heart, so I thought I'd take the heart and video it for you guys. Yeah, I hope you enjoy the video as much as I've enjoyed getting stuck into this heart, because it is bloody good. Last bit. Delicious. Right, there's round one out the way. Now I've got a bloody sirloin to wash it down. How good. So there's the whole management side of deer hunting that I've already touched on a little bit in this video. But the other side to that is the meat hunting side of it. Obviously, you shoot a deer, you get a whole lot of meat off that, and the best way to pay your respects to that animal is by taking as much of that meat as possible and eating as much of that meat as possible. And I think the heart's a really good way to just take a little bit more meat and pay that little bit more respect to the animal. And yeah, it's also delicious in my opinion anyway. So, yep, bloody good. Cheers, guys. Hope you enjoyed the little cook up there and the video. And we'll see you on the next one. It takes me ages to realise I've grabbed a spoon and not a fork out of the dishwasher. Right, that's a bloody spoon. There we go.